Hey everybody, Christmas for Thrive and Survive. May 31st, 2018 now, just after midnight my time. Guys, this is going to take a little bit of explaining to do, but you are not going to want to miss this. I honestly believe that nothing in this world could disprove the lunar landings any more than what I'm about to tell you, other than an admission from the government of fraud, and that is going to come eventually. What we're going to do here is go through a little bit painstakingly, give all the advantages to NASA as usual, and watch what happens here. You're going to see the impossibility, and I mean 100% impossibility, that we went to the moon. Now this time you get to see me show how I do my editing here, because we're going to do a little something here. We got the space shuttle. Now remember, the space shuttle was somewhere between 200 and 400 miles away, and what we're going to do is, many of you are familiar with the delays that we have with the space shuttle. A person will talk, there's a delay, and then in fact, sometimes they may even make a big deal of it. Don't forget, wait for them to finish because of the delay, and things like that. They'll warn people that are asking astronauts questions. Now, we're dealing with 21st century technology. Again, a distance of only 200 to 400 miles. Let's give it the max, 400 miles. And let's see what the delay is between the person speaking and his response. Now, when you see this play, you will hear it. This is her answer. In fact, I don't want to turn that up because I don't want to blast your ears. But I've started the timer. I've got a timer that starts here. As you can see, it goes up as he's ready to respond. So this person here is on Earth, some woman asking a question, and then as soon as he's done, or she's done asking the question, he will respond, and we're going to time how long it takes for the delay. Now there's a little bit of a blip here. I don't know if you can make it out. Let me see if I can edit the audio. Let me move this up a little bit. The sound might be a little weird here, a little loud maybe. I don't know, but see this little blip right here? This indicates where he turns the microphone on. This is where he is finally, he's done hearing the question. We're going to assume he immediately knows what to say and turns the microphone on to respond. So let's go ahead and listen to it once through here.
The physical challenges or the mental challenges, what have you found harder to cope with?
Do you know,
now he turned the microphone on at 3.7 seconds. I advise a lot of you guys, when we're doing this timing stuff, to go back and watch it on YouTube at 1/4 speed. So you can see there's no cheating going on. We're going to go through this one more time here. I'm going to try to stop it as close as I can to 3.7 seconds. It's this little bleep right here. In fact, what I can do is this. And now it will only play during this time period here.
Physical challenges or the
Watch up here.
Challenges, what have you found harder to cope with?
Okay, now I'm going to let it go a little bit beyond that this time so you can tell that's the microphone turning on. 3.7 seconds. Now, I might give him even a little bit more here. Let's go right to the end of her voice. See how many seconds it is. In fact, we'll know here in a second.
Physical challenges or the mental challenges, what have you found harder to cope with?
do you know?
So, now the delay at the very, giving them everything. 3.9 seconds. So 3.9 seconds. Now let me explain one other thing that's going to be very important here. You're going to see shortly in a diagram, when she is talking, we're hearing that from Earth. So there should be no delay for us, even though go watch Sky News or the BBC News replays of the 2016 election, and whenever they're speaking to a correspondent from New York over to London, there's a couple second delay. This is 21st century technology, and we have delays from New York to London. Anyway, I wanted to make that point first. All right, let's take a look at this. This is the next phase. Forget about the timer. It doesn't matter right here. The pictures are not going to match the sound down here. I'm going to leave you a link to a video that has all the Apollo 11 Day 1 audio on it. You can check it out if you want. This was more compressed. I didn't have to load a 1.5 to 2 hour video to make this. This just shows different pictures of different parts of the mission. But the audio is the actual audio as recorded from Apollo 11. You can match it up with the other one. What I'm trying to show you here is that for those who may not know, you're going to hear a series of beeps. In fact, let's just play it and then I'll explain it.
Roger, Apollo 11. Go ahead.
Okay, we're pressing on with the procedure.
And 11, Houston, we have a request for you.
Okay. Now, they had a system of beeps set up. See the signature here? Here's another one. You can tell where the beeps are going to be. The way they had it set up was there would be a beep. The person would speak. When they were finished speaking, it would beep again. This was supposed to be a signal, I believe, if I remember correctly, so that because of the supposed delay between the two, they wouldn't cross each other up. They would wait to hear for that ending beep before they spoke. And of course, there's going to be a delay. We'll calculate what that delay should be between the Earth and the Moon and back again. But it starts with Houston. And we should hear Houston immediately. I'm going to repeat some of these things because they're important. Houston was on the Earth. They're transmitting to ABC, NBC, CBS, and the world here in the United States. And this audio recording should be instant from Houston, but a delay from space, just like the space station. No difference. So let's do it one more time. Houston starts, and then the astronauts reply, and then Houston comes back again.
Roger, Apollo 11. Go ahead.
Okay, we're pressing on with the procedure.
And 11, Houston, we have a request for you.
Now, what I want to point out is this area right here. Houston ends with a beep here, and then we've got a delay. All right, this delay is roughly, if I can get it to point me right here, 1.1, 1.2 seconds. We're going to find out it's about 1.25 seconds would be the delay with radio waves traveling at the speed of light unencumbered. One more time, then we'll leave this.
Roger, Apollo 11. Go ahead.
Okay, we're pressing.
Okay, did you get the delay there? There was no beep at the beginning. Most of the time there is. That's one example where it just doesn't work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Okay? All right, that's it for this part. Let's continue on. All right, now we need to do a little bit of math, and then we'll be all set up. How fast is the speed of light? Well, the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. Okay, 186,000 miles per second. I don't think anybody on the flat Earth or the globe Earth will argue that fact. Is it true? That's what they tell us. So, we have nothing else to go by. Now, we're told the average distance to the moon is 232,000. I'm going to go with 230,000 even. 230,000 even. So how long would it take unencumbered radio, television, whatever, radio, audio transmission to go from Houston, Texas to the moon one way? Well, what we have to do is take 230,000 miles and divide it by 186,000 miles. And whatever the answer is, that's how many seconds. So, it's almost 1.25 seconds, but 1.23 seconds. All right, that's with no other wires, no other delay, no transmission stations, not going from the U.S. to Australia, which everybody wants to defend how we did it with the satellites and different things like that. This is a direct beaming from the Earth directly to the moon, unencumbered. 1.23 seconds. So, it would also be from the moon to the Earth if it was directed right from the moon straight to Houston, Texas to our television sets. No encumbrances whatsoever. Again, I'm giving everything to them. Another 1.23 seconds. So we multiply this times 2. It should be almost 2.5 seconds round trip. Earth to the moon and back. Now, remember I said Houston is here in the United States. This was recorded here. We will assume that's instant, no delay whatsoever. So let's divide this by 2 again. So once Houston gets done, it should take 1.23 seconds before we get a reply from the moon. If the very moment Houston is done speaking, no thought is required. It's an immediate feedback. Push the button. Here's your answer. 1.23 seconds. Absolute minimum. Absolute minimum by the physics of the speed of light. And radio waves, television waves, they cannot travel faster than the speed of light. If anything, they can be encumbered and different things like that, travel through wires, resistance. We're not going to include any of that. 1.23 seconds. So if we hear Houston beep, "Hey Neil, how you doing?" Beep, and he immediately gets that right when we hear it, which of course he doesn't. It takes him 1.23 seconds, but we're going to say he gets it instantly. When he hits the button instantly, beep, "I'm doing great" on the on the moon. That reply, the very beginning of that beep reply to us, should take 1.23 seconds after the beep of Houston, or after Houston is done speaking. Either way, whether the beep goes off or not. You can't answer a question before it's asked. And they're trained not to talk over each other anyway, because of the beep system. So 1.23 seconds. If we get any number higher than 1.23 seconds, that's okay. There might be a delay, or Neil Armstrong might have to think about his reply. We may be going through the Australia satellite part that's picking up the signal and transmitting it across the Pacific and then to the Atlantic and then to Houston, or whatever way it goes, supposedly. 1.23. That's our magic number. We're going to get rid of all this 0.6 whatever. We don't care about that. 1.23. We're going to give everything in their favor. All right, let's just look at the diagram to make sure we got it correctly. Here's Houston with their antenna. They're transmitting directly to the moon, we're going to say. All right. The red indicates transmitting up to the moon, 232,000 miles. And remember we said, how long does it take for that to go? 1.23 seconds. So once Houston transmits, 1.23 seconds it takes before it gets to Neil Armstrong. As soon as he starts speaking, we should not hear that for another 1.23 seconds once Houston finishes at the very earliest. By the laws of physics, we cannot hear it earlier, his response, than 1.23 seconds. Because it's got to come back another 232,000 miles minimum. That's if it's going right into Houston and directly out to a person watching their television set. So here we go. Here's Joe Public watching the spectacle, Neil Armstrong on the moon. And this has been right in front of us the whole time, guys. The whole time. Let's get into the proof. All right, the first time I play this, I'm just going to let it go through and then we'll go back and explain it. This apparently, if I remember correctly, this is where just after they landed and Neil Armstrong was taking a look at the lunar module and said it looked good. I believe that's what this is. So let's go ahead and take a listen. Notice that is Houston talking first. He says Apollo 11 Houston or whatever. Here we go.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
LEM looks to be in pretty fine shape. About all we can see from here.
Okay.
There was another one I could have picked up. We're going to do 2 here, just 2. You're going to pick up dozens of these if you look at these different video links I'm going to leave below. Dozens. Now, most of the time they do it right, but they slip up. Now, let's go back again. And remember, the first part is Houston speaking. This part right here. This is something we should hear immediately. It should be a 1.23 second delay before they even hear. When he's finished speaking here, it should still be 1.23 seconds before they even hear it up there. And then another 1.23 seconds before we get it back. Correct? but we're just going to count the 1.23 seconds. The bottom one is the time from when Houston started talking. The top one is when this starts out at 0.1, or when the counter starts, which is right here actually, because I took it to where Houston stopped speaking. Can you see that there? Here's the very last moment of Houston speaking, and I've lined that up right there. Okay? In fact, I'm just going to play that part of it. This is so important.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
All right. 2.9 seconds was the entire Houston thing. Now it should be 1.23 seconds before, again, Neil Armstrong hears it, and then another 1.23 before we get it back. And that's 1.23 seconds before we get back the beginning of what he's saying, not the whole message. So, let's play it again at regular speed. Again, go back here if you want and check it at slow speed. There's nothing wrong with the timers. Check it out. Here we go.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
Roger.
Okay. He starts speaking. Can you see down here? Right here. You know what I'm going to do? Let me edit the audio again. Turn it up in case you can't hear it. And again, right here is where he begins talking. Here's the 0 point where Houston ended. Here's where we hear him respond. 0.8, not even 1 second. Not even 1 second. Are you getting that? He's responding faster than the speed of light would allow the signal to just go one way. And here he's beating the record like crazy 2 ways. But we're only going to count the 1 way. This is impossible. He's answering the question in point. We're hearing on Earth the answer in 0.8 seconds. We didn't get audio from the moon as far as them bringing it back and we spliced it together. This is how it was recorded as it was done live on U.S. television. Let's do it again. In fact, I'm going to stop it just after him speaking. Okay, it's still below 1.23 seconds, but you'll notice he's responding.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
Can't be done. They did not go to the moon. One more, guys. One more. By the way, the last portion of the video, the first video link that's below, that if you want to check that out yourself, that's about the 19-minute 35-second mark to about the 19-minute 41 or 42-second mark in the video. This one starts at 20 minutes 20 minutes 23 seconds and goes to 20 minutes 24 seconds roughly. Now I've really blown this up so you can see this better. This right here is the signature of the beep. I don't know if this beep is Houston ending or the beginning of Apollo speaking. I am given the benefit of the doubt once again that I'm giving them all the time, so I'm assuming that this is Houston's beep. Now, if I move this over this way, I'm going to be really cutting him down. That's if it's his beep. Anyway, let's listen to this, and then we'll go back and go slower again.
Over.
Yeah, we think it's within normal.
Okay, we have a beep, like I said. Houston ends right here. This is his last word. Then we have a beep. And then we have the response. Now, if this is the beep from Apollo, the response happened in about 0.1 seconds. Well, let's find out. The response happened in 0.2 seconds. The beep started here. So that would be this right here.
Over.
Yeah, we think it's within.
Let me give you a little bit longer. In fact, let me shrink it down a little bit.
Over.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and go there. Start it again. Houston ends here or here. We're going to say this is Houston's beep because otherwise the response is 0.2 seconds. So this is the end for Houston. In fact, actually this should be here because that's the signal he can talk. It should take 1.23 seconds before he hears that beep. But again, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and then we'll see what it really is, though. So let's play it.
Equalization, over.
Yeah, wait.
All right. He responds in 0.6 seconds. Less than half the time. The speed of light would have to be double. A little bit more than double what it is. Houston ends. Either way, I'm giving the benefit of that all the way. Let's just say we wait to the end of the beep. It should be 1.23 seconds before he hears it on the moon, and then another 1.23 seconds before we hear his response. If he started immediately.
Equalization, over.
Yeah, wait, they get.
Okay. 0.3 seconds. So we won't do that. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. What if I go there, huh? It's 0.9 seconds from the very last breath sound that Houston make, giving them every single thing.
Equalization, over.
Yeah, wait, they get within normal.
0.9. Impossible. Absolutely 100% impossible. No way. There is no proof better than this. You can't beat the speed of light with sound waves, traveling through space, giving them every single thing you can give them. No wires to go through, no delay going from some NBC headquarters out to your television and different things like that, you know, retransmission. No delay. The space shuttle, they show 3 seconds or whatever it was delay, 3 to 4 seconds. And here, one way from the moon, they're telling us 0.7, 0.8. Actually, what it really is, at best, is 0.6 seconds. How can sound travel 232,000 miles in 0.6 seconds when it takes at the speed of light 1.23 seconds? Case closed. Never went to the moon. Impossible. I love this one. I've had this one for a year, and to be honest, I was kind of not wanting to release it because I wanted to do the debates first. This is an ace in the hole, guys. Ace in the hole. God bless each and every one of you. Take care. Spread this everywhere. This is it. This is the smoking gun. Take care.